Hello student, today we are going to learn a new chapter, chapter number 15, hydrocarbons. Now first we study what is meant by hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbon means the compound contains only carbon and hydrogen are called as hydrocarbons. I repeat, the organic compound contains only carbon and hydrogen atoms are called as hydrocarbons. We see on the screen the examples of hydrocarbons. The methane molecule contains one carbon and four hydrogen atoms. Ethane molecule also contains six hydrogen and two carbon atoms. Propane contains three carbon and eight hydrogen atoms. Also butane contains four carbon and 10 hydrogen atoms. These are the examples of hydrocarbons. That means hydrocarbon means the compound contains only carbon and hydrogen are called as hydrocarbons. Now, hydrocarbons occur widely in nature. Hydrocarbons occur widely in nature in different forms. Hydrocarbons are the simplest organic compounds containing the elements carbon and hydrogen. For example, LPG. We know that LPG means liquefied petroleum gas. It contains carbon number 3 and carbon number 4. That means propane, and it is a mixture of propane and butane. Also, it contains isobutane. CNG, that is compressed natural gas, and LNG, that is liquefied natural gas, contains the lower members of alkane from C1 to C4. The alkanes C6 to C8 are the constituent of gasoline and petrol. Gasoline and petrol. Diesel contains a mixture of alkanes. Diesel contains a mixture of alkanes C15 to C18. Also, wax are the example of hydrocarbon. Lubricant oil also examples of the hydrocarbons. Cyclohexane, the cyclic alkane, is one of the common components of mangoes. Alkene, ethylene, propylene, styrene are used for the manufacture of polymers. We know the well-known polymer is polythene. Polythene is used for the preparation of or manufacture of bottles, toys, pipes, etc. or polythene bags. This polythene is the polymer of ethene, and ethene is the hydrocarbon. Also, we use the pipes of PVC pipes used in the homes. These PVC pipe made from the or polymer of vinyl chloride, and vinyl chloride, it is also the hydrocarbon. So L- LPG, kerosene are used as a domestic fuels. CNG, petrol, diesel are used as a fuels for automobiles. Hence, that means hydrocarbons plays an very important role in our daily life. Now we are going to learn hydrocarbons. Hydro- I earlier had told earlier hydrocarbons, the compound which contains carbon and hydrogen only, are called hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons can be open chain or cyclic. Open chain hydrocarbon means the compound joined together carbon atoms are joined together to form a straight chain or branch chain. Branch chain is called as open chain, and the carbon atoms joined to form a ring are called as cyclic hydrocarbons. On the basis of presence or absence of double bond or triple bond, the hydrocarbon can be classified as unsaturated or saturated hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are classified as open chain and cyclic hydrocarbons. These open chain hydrocarbons are classified as saturated or unsaturated hydrocarbons on the basis of presence of carbon-carbon double bond or triple bond. If the compound contains only carbon-carbon single bond is present, then this compound are called as saturated hydrocarbons, and the compound contains carbon-carbon double bond or carbon-carbon triple bond are these compounds are called as unsaturated hydrocarbons. For example, alkene and alkyne are the unsaturated hydrocarbons, and alkanes are the example of saturated hydrocarbons. These saturated hydrocarbons also classified as straight chain and branch chain alkanes. Also, unsaturated hydrocarbons also classified as straight chain and branch chain hydrocarbons. Now, cyclic unsaturated hydrocarbons. These cyclic hydrocarbons are classified as saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Saturated means the cyclic compound, that means the carbon are joined by single covalent bond are called as saturated cyclic hydrocarbons. These are called as alicyclic hydrocarbons. And unsaturated cyclic hydrocarbons means the cyclic hydrocarbons in which the ring is formed by or the carbon-carbon are joined by carbon-carbon double bond or triple bond called as unsaturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated cyclic hydrocarbons. These unsaturated cyclic hydrocarbons classified as aromatic or non-aromatic hydrocarbons. What is meant by aromatic hydrocarbons? Aromatic hydrocarbon means the compound contains at least one benzene ring in their structure called as aromatic hydrocarbons. The compound contains one benzene ring, at least one benzene ring is called as aromatic hydrocarbons, and the compound content does not contain benzene ring. These are called as non-aromatic hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons classified as saturated and unsaturated. Alkane is the type of saturated hydrocarbons. Why alkanes are called as saturated hydrocarbons? Because the alkanes contains only carbon-carbon single bond or the compound formed by carbon-carbon single covalent bond called as saturated hydrocarbons, and the alkene, alkyne or aromatic compound are the types of unsaturated hydrocarbons. Alkene, it contains the compound contains at least one carbon-carbon double bond in their structure, or alkyne contains one carbon-carbon triple bond in their structure, or aromatic compound also contains benzene ring in their structure, or benzene ring contains double bond. Alkane. Example of alkane is the first molecule in the alkane series is methane. Methane contains one carbon and four hydrogen atom. Also, the ethene. Ethene is the example of alkene. It contains two carbon atoms joined together by carbon-carbon double bond and four hydrogen atom. The two hydrogen atom joined to one carbon atom by single covalent bond. Ethine. Ethine is the example of alkyne. Ethine contains two carbon atoms are joined by carbon-carbon triple bond, and each carbon atom attached to the one hydrogen atom. Ethine, ethine is the IUPAC name and acetylene is the common name. Also, ethene is the IUPAC name and ethylene is the common name. Now, hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons mainly of four types. First one is alkane, second one is alkenes, third one is alkynes, and fourth one is arenes, or it is also called as aromatic compounds. First, alkanes. Alkanes are the alkanes are the aliphatic saturated hydrocarbons containing carbon-carbon single covalent bond. Alkanes are the aliphatic saturated hydrocarbons containing carbon-carbon single covalent bond. And the first, what is meant by aliphatic? Aliphatic means the open chain compounds are called as aliphatic compounds. Saturated means the compound contains only carbon-carbon single bond, and hydrocarbon means the compound contains only carbon and hydrogen are called as hydrocarbons. That means the alkanes are the aliphatic saturated hydrocarbons containing carbon-carbon single covalent bond called as alkanes and having general formula CnH2n plus 2. If we put n is equal to 1, if we put n is equal to 1, then the formula becomes C1 2 into 1, that is 2, and 2 plus 2, 4, that means CH4. The formula becomes CH4, and its name is methane. Methane is the first molecule of homologous series of alkanes. It contains one carbon and four hydrogen atoms. Second example of alkane, if we put n is equal to 2, then formula becomes C2 C2 2 into 2 4 plus 2 6, that is formula becomes C2H6 C2H6, and its name is ethane. Ethane contains two carbon atoms, and these two carbon atoms join together by single covalent bond, and each carbon attached with three hydrogen atoms. Carbon always forms four covalent bond. ही गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवा, कार्बन नेहमी हा 4 कोव्हॅलंट बॉन्ड हा फॉर्म करत असतो. आता आपण पाहूया अल्केन्स. व्हॉट इज मीन बाय अल्केन्स? Alkenes are the aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one carbon-carbon double bond. I repeat, alkenes are the aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one carbon-carbon double bond. Aliphatic means the open chain or branching compounds called as aliphatic compounds. Unsaturated means the compound contains carbon-carbon double bond or carbon-carbon triple bond, that is multiple bond. जर प्रेझेंट असेल कंपाऊंडमध्ये तर त्याला म्हणायचं आहे अनसॅच्युरेटेड हायड्रोकार्बन्स. मल्टिपल म्हणजेच त्याच्यामध्ये एकतर डबल बॉन्ड पाहिजे किंवा ट्रिपल बॉन्ड असेल तर त्यांना म्हणायचं आहे अनसॅच्युरेटेड. आणि हायड्रोकार्बन्स, वी नो दॅट हायड्रोकार्बन्स द कंपाऊंड कंटेन्स ओनली carbon and hydrogen called as hydrocarbons. And then the definition of alkenes. Alkenes are the aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one carbon-carbon double bond called as alkenes and having general formula CnH2n. CnH2n. If we compare the formula of alkenes, then the alkenes contains two hydrogen atoms less than the parent alkane. Alkenes contains two hydrogen atoms less than the parent alkane. Alkane having formula CnH2n plus 2 and alkane having formula CnH2n. If we put n is equal to 1, then the formula becomes C1 2 into 1 2, that is CH2, and CH2 contains only one carbon atom and its name is methane. Methane is the first molecule in alkene series and it has very short life. मिथेन हा अल्केन सिरीजचा पहिलाच मॉलिक्यूल आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये फक्त एक कार्बन आणि दोन हायड्रोजन आहेत. म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये डबल बॉन्ड नाही आहे आणि त्याच्या रिॲक्शन आणि त्याचा स्टडी आपल्याला ह्या चॅप्टरमध्ये करायचा नाही. ह्या चॅप्टरमध्ये आपल्याला फक्त इथिन, त्याचं दुसरं नाव आहे, कॉमन नेम आहे इथिलीन किंवा प्रॉपिन आणि प्रॉपिलिन, याच्या आपल्याला रिॲक्शन पाहिजे. म्हणजे जर आपण कार्बन कार्बन डबल बॉन्ड जर पाहिला तर कार्बन कार्बन डबल बॉन्ड प्रेझेंट असलेला पहिला अल्किन आहे इथिन, that is ethylene. If we put n is equal to 2, then the formula becomes C2, 2 into 2, 4, that is H4, C2, H4. And the structure, the two carbon atoms joined by carbon-carbon double bond, and each carbon atom attached with two hydrogen atoms. This C2H4 is called as ethene. Ethene is the IUPAC name and its common name is ethylene. Its common name is ethylene. If we put the second example, if we put n is equal to 3, then the formula becomes C3, 3 into 2, 6, then the formula becomes C3H6, C3H6, and its name is propene or propylene. Propene is the IUPAC name and propylene is the common name. In propene, the two carbon atoms joined by double bond and one CH3 group, that is methyl group, is attached to the one doubly bonded carbon atom, and and the valency of remaining carbon are satisfied by the hydrogen atoms. आता सांगितलं कार्बनची व्हॅलन्सी ही 4 असते, म्हणजे कार्बन नेहमी 4 कोव्हॅलंट बॉन्ड हे फॉर्म करत असतो. कार्बन कार्बन डबल बॉन्ड, 2 कार्बनमध्ये कार्बन कार्बन डबल बॉन्ड आहे आणि तिसरा कार्बन हा एका डबल बॉन्ड कार्बनला डायरेक्टली अटॅच आहे बाय सिंगल बॉन्ड. आणि राहिलेली व्हॅलन्सी ती कार्बनची ती आपल्याला कशाने सॅटिस्फाय करायची आहे? हायड्रोजनने. म्हणजे जर पाहिलं तुम्ही एक्झाम्पलमध्ये तर ह्या कार्बनने सुद्धा 4 बॉन्ड फॉर्म केले आहेत. मिडल कार्बनने सुद्धा डबल बॉन्डचे 2 आणि हे सिंगल इकडे एक 3 आणि इकडचा खालचा हायड्रोजनचा एक 4, असे याने पण 4 बॉन्ड फॉर्म केले. तसेच टर्मिनलचा जो डबल बॉन्ड कार्बन आहे त्याने सुद्धा 2 बॉन्ड हे डबल बॉन्ड, दॅट मीन्स वन इज सिग्मा अँड अनदर इज पाय बॉन्ड आहे आणि 2 बॉन्ड त्याने हायड्रोजनशी फॉर्म केलेत. असे ह्या कार्बनने सुद्धा 4 बॉन्ड फॉर्म केलेत. म्हणजे तुम्ही जर पाहिलं तर व्हॅलन्सी ऑफ कार्बन इज 4. That means the carbon always forms 4 covalent bond. Next is alkynes. Alkynes are the aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one carbon-carbon triple bond. Alkynes. So what is meant by alkynes? I repeat, alkynes are the aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one carbon-carbon triple bond. Aliphatic means the compounds are open chain or branch chain. Unsaturated means the compound contains one multiple bond, that means double bond or triple bond. एक तर डबल बॉन्ड असेल, एक तर ट्रिपल बॉन्ड असेल. आणि ह्या अल्काइन्समध्ये कुठला बॉन्ड आहे? ट्रिपल बॉन्ड आहे. हायड्रोकार्बन means the compound contains carbon and hydrogen only, called as hydrocarbon. Then the definition becomes alkynes are the aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one carbon-carbon triple bond, called as alkynes, and having general formula CnH2n minus 2. If we compare the formula of alkanes, then this alkyne contains 4 hydrogen atoms less than the parent alkane. 4 hydrogen atoms less than the parent alkane. For example, C2H6, it is called as ethane. Ethane contains 6 hydrogen atoms, and ethyne is the alkyne. It contains only 2 hydrogen atoms. That means 4 hydrogen atoms less than the parent alkane इथेन. जर इथिन आणि इथाईन आणि इथेन यांचं आपण कम्पॅरिझन केलं तर इथेनचा फॉर्म्युला आहे C2H6. इथेनचा फॉर्म्युला आहे C2H6 आणि इथाईनचा फॉर्म्युला आहे C2H2. म्हणजे आपण जर फरक पाहिला तर याच्यामध्ये 4 हायड्रोजन हे कमी आहेत इथेनपेक्षा. म्हणजे अल्केन आणि अल्काईन जर कम्पेअर केले आपण तर अल्काईन्समध्ये 4 हायड्रोजन ॲटम हे पॅरंट अल्केनपेक्षा कमी आहेत. That means the formula is CnH2n minus 2. If we put n is equal to 2, if we put n is equal to 2, then the formula becomes C2, 2 into 2, 4, and 4 minus 2, 2. That is formula becomes C2H2. In that, and its name is ethine and its common name is acetylene. The ethine contains one carbon-carbon triple bond and each carbon atom attached with one hydrogen atom by single covalent bond. We see the structure of ethine. Then second example, C3H4. If we put n is equal to 3, if we put n is equal to 3, then the formula becomes 3 into 2, 6, 6 minus 2, 4. Then the formula becomes C3H4. If we write the structure of propane, then the structure is the two carbon atom joined by triple bond and one triply bonded carbon attached with CH3 group, that is methyl group, and another triply bonded carbon atom attached with one hydrogen atom. I told earlier carbon always forms four covalent bond. That means the first carbon it forms four covalent bond, one with hydrogen and three with another carbon. In that three, one is sigma bond and two are pi bond. Sigma bond are the stronger bond than the pi bonds. जर आपण पाहिलं या C3H4 मध्ये प्रत्येक कार्बनने फोर बॉन्ड हे फॉर्म केलेले दिसत आहेत. या पहिल्या कार्बनने याने 3 बॉन्ड एका कार्बनशी आणि एक बॉन्ड हायड्रोजनशी फॉर्म केला आहे. तसेच हा मिडल कार्बनने सुद्धा 3 बॉन्ड हे एका कार्बनशी फॉर्म केले आहेत आणि दुसऱ्या कार्बनशी सिंगल बॉन्डने एक बॉन्ड फॉर्म केला आहे. म्हणजेच मिडल कार्बनने सुद्धा 4 बॉन्ड फॉर्म केले. तसेच टर्मिनलचा जो मिथिल CH3 ग्रुप आहे दॅट इज मिथिल आहे, या कार्बनने सुद्धा 3 सिंगल बॉन्ड हे हायड्रोजनशी फॉर्म केले आहेत आणि 1 सिंगल बॉन्ड हा एक कार्बनशी फॉर्म केला आहे. असे त्याने सुद्धा 4 बॉन्ड्स हे फॉर्म केलेले आहेत. दॅट मीन्स समजलंय. आता नाव arines are called as aromatic compounds. I told earlier aromatic compound means compound containing at least one benzene ring in their structure called as aromatic compounds. This is the benzene ring, and benzene having molecular formula C6H6. That means benzene contains 6 carbon and 6 hydrogen atoms. These, these 6 carbons join to form cyclic ring, and these carbons join by alternate single and double bond. Also, each carbon atom attached with one hydrogen atom by single covalent bond. That means benzene contains 3 double bond. These 3 double bond contains one is sigma and one is pi bond. That means benzene contains 3 pi bond. This is the structure of benzene. ॲरोमॅटिक कंपाऊंड कोणाला म्हणायचं यांच्यामध्ये काय पाहिजे कमीत कमी एक बेन्झीन रिंग पाहिजे. एकापेक्षा जास्त पण असू शकतात. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, second example, naphthalene. Naphthalene having molecular formula C10H8. This naphthalene contains two benzene ring. Naphthalene contains two benzene rings. आताच आपण पाहिलं कार्बन नेहमी 4 दॅट मीन्स 4 कोव्हॅलंट बॉन्ड हे फॉर्म करत असतो. आता why carbon forms 4 covalent bond? Now that we know the atomic number of carbon is 6. Atomic number of carbon is 6. The electronic configuration of carbon is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. That means carbon forms 4 covalent bond by sharing of its 4 valence electrons with 4 univalent atom. Example, univalent atom means the असे ॲटम की ते फक्त एकच बॉन्ड फॉर्म करतात म्हणजे त्यांची व्हॅलन्सी ही एक आहे. अशा ॲटम्सला म्हणायचं आहे युनिव्हॅलंट ॲटम्स. फॉर एक्झाम्पल हायड्रोजन or chlorine, sodium. These are the examples of univalent atom. In that is here example of hydrogen. Hydrogen having atomic number is 1 and its electronic configuration is 1s1. After the formation of 4 bonds, carbon attains the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, which is the electronic configuration of inert gas neon, that is stable. That means carbon achieves the stable electronic configuration. Carbon forms completes the octet. Example, formation of CH4 molecule, that is methane molecule. The valence electron, the carbon contains 4 valence electron in last shell. Hydrogen contains 1 electron. 1 electron of carbon and 1 electron of hydrogen by sharing forms 1 bond, 1 covalent bond. एक कार्बनचा इलेक्ट्रॉन आणि एक हायड्रोजनचा इलेक्ट्रॉन यांची जर शेअरिंग झाली तर एक कोव्हॅलंट बॉन्ड फॉर्म होतो. असे 4 हायड्रोजनचे 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन आणि कार्बनचा 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन असेच घेतले तर टोटल कार्बन हा 4 बॉन्ड फॉर्म करत असतो. दॅट मीन्स कार्बन फॉर्म्स 4 कोव्हॅलंट बॉन्ड. This detailed study of why carbon forms 4 covalent bond, detailed study is studied in VSEPR theory, that is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. According to VSEPR theory, carbon forms 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. These 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals forms 4 covalent single bond with 4 hydrogen atoms. Now see the structure of methane. This is the structure of methane. The structure is called as tetrahedral structure. This structure is called as tetrahedral structure. जर कार्बन 4 बॉन्ड का फॉर्म करतो याचा डिटेल स्टडी हा VSEPR थेरीमध्ये दिलेला आहे. VSEPR थेरी, VSEPR म्हणजे व्हॅलन्स शेल इलेक्ट्रॉन पेअर रिपल्शन थेरी. ही एक थेरी आहे. त्यानुसार आपण कार्बन जर पाहिलं, कार्बनचं फर्स्ट ग्राउंड स्टेट कॉन्फिगरेशन आहे 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. When carbon goes into excited state, then its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1 and 2p3. And this 2s1, 2p3, this 3 and this 1 electron forms the hybrid 4 hybrid orbital called as sp3 hybrid orbital. And this 4 sp3 hybrid orbital having shape dumbbell having dumbbell shape, and these dumbbell shape orbitals, these 4 sp3 orbitals forms 4 covalent bond with 4 hydrogen bond. म्हणजेच कार्बन नेहमी 4 that means 4 covalent bond हे फॉर्म करत असतो. Now in that lecture we study the classification of what is meant by hydrocarbons, classification of hydrocarbons, the definition of alkane, alkene, alkynes, and aromatic hydrocarbons, and why carbon forms four covalent bonds. In next lecture, we study the nomenclature of or isomerism of alkanes.